Welcome! I'm Tabia Clinkscales and this is TabiaTalks. Today we are talking about hair. Yes, that lovely, flowy, kinky, curly hair. And I know it's a controversial subject, but why is that? Why is it such a touchy subject? Even me, people don't really like to hear me talk about hair. They don't want me to talk about it because they feel like I can never know how they feel, or that I don't count as a natural because of my hair texture. And I'm going to go into why do we feel this way? Why is this such a big deal? Why do we care so much? First, let me state that I am totally aware that because of my hair texture, I don't have to go through the same exact things that somebody with a different hair texture had to go through. I'm not one of those girls who are trying to down with the struggle or whatever, yeah, people like me, we have problems too, we got excluded too, and all that stuff, and feel sorry for me. And I'm saying everybody has their own struggle, but I'm totally aware that me going natural or me doing certain things is not the same as somebody else. I don't want to be afraid to talk about this subject because of my hair, because yes, I will never know what you feel like with your hair texture. You will never know how I feel. We are part of this same culture. I deal with the same things that you deal with. Not actually deal, but I see it. And I think my opinion is valid just like everybody else's. So this story starts off with, I was watching a talk show in the daytime, whatever, and they were talking about hair, and they split up all the women from naturals to weaves and perms. So, the natural hair, they representing, blah, blah, it's so versatile, I could do whatever, or whatever. And then you get to the weave girls. And one of the girls stands up, and it's all different races in there. It's white girls who wear weave, Hispanic girls who wear weave. And the black girl gets up, and there was men in the audience who were on a panel about what they think about weave. And one of the black girls was like, why is it that when I wear my weave, everybody knows it's weave, but my Hispanic friend here, she wears weave all the time and nobody knows. She could just walk around like it's her hair. First, it's you have to know that you wearing weave is going to be more obvious than her wearing weave. Her weave is matching the actual texture that is coming out of her head. It's not rocket science. If she was wearing kinky hair or afro hair, it would be an obvious contrast. So if you wanted to wear weave, maybe if you matched the hair that's coming out of your head, it wouldn't be as obvious. I think some of the girls that I see, they really need to understand that it's never gonna really look that natural. It's always a point. When if you have naturally straight hair or whatever, if it blends in, that's fine, but if you don't, it doesn't blend that well. So we need to really come to terms with it. And then I know a lot of y'all probably heard some girls saying, oh, natural hair ain't for everybody. That don't make no kind of sense. That's like me walking around with skates on all the time, and people are like, what are you doing with them skates on all the time? I'd be like, well, walking ain't for everybody. God made y'all walk, but I can't do it, so I guess I gotta skate around everywhere. Now on to my hair story. I was raised in a household where straight hair wasn't really an option. We didn't really talk about it when I was really young. My father in particular despises straight hair. It was always natural hair, it's beautiful, and the hair that comes out of your head is just the way it's supposed to be. There's no altering that needs to be done. My mom barely did our hair anyway. when I went to school, I learned something totally different. People would say things like, oh, you don't need to have a perm, you got that good hair, and like, oh, you think you better because of your hair. And like some girls actually didn't like me because of it. Like there was this girl in kindergarten. I went to school with her all the way up to like 11th grade. And she came up to me in gym class and apologized to me in 11th grade like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just always thought you was better. I didn't like you because of your hair. Which was surprising to me because I kind of actually thought, I forgot that she existed for a little bit. But I still thought it was like really good of her to come up to me and say that. That was pretty cool. But anyway, like learning about this hair hierarchy was like weird to me when I went to school. Like when I was at home, my parents and my sisters, they didn't make it seem like my hair was special. I liked all four of us have different hair textures and I liked all of them. Even my younger sister, she has like a puffy, like a curlier hair type than me, and I actually used to want that because she could do little afro puffs, and I really wanted to do that. So when I went to school and people are like so ashamed of their hair and people making jokes, like it was really heartbreaking to me. Like really. I thought, like every kid, that the hair that grew out of your head was for you. That's what I thought everybody felt. So I was surprised to learn that it wasn't that way. And I quickly learned because of society, because of what boys said at school, what girls said at school, because of my Barbie dolls, that the closer to white you are, the better. But it really broke my heart, the type of things that they would say. You know, like telling me that I don't need a perm may sound like a compliment to you, but I always think of the reverse, like, so you're saying that you need one? That you're saying that my hair deserves to be out and free and maintained and healthy, but yours doesn't? Like, it really affects me. It makes me very uncomfortable. But eventually, maybe like 7th grade or something like that, I drank some of that poison, that desire for straight hair poison. And some people say like, oh, you ain't got no problems, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But I also had to go through the same things, similar things, because my hair is not straight and flowing and down to my butt. That's what I thought. That's all my Barbie dolls had. That's how you are sexy. That's how you get some men. But I really wanted to delve deeper into this subject because it's always been a passion of mine, and we've had countless conversations with my family about it. And I really, really want people to see how beautiful their hair is. Like, it is so important to me. Back to those little girls who used to say that kind of stuff to me in elementary school. It's like, and even now, think about it. Like, you consider, like, if you do weave and you don't take care of your natural hair. I'm not really against weave, but that's a whole other thing. But you sewed another woman's hair into your head. You braided yours down or whatever's happening under there, and you deemed your hair unworthy to be taken care of, to be maintained, to be worshipped, to be admired. You say, you know what, bump that, I'm gonna sew this other woman's hair, and I'm gonna take care of this, and I'm gonna style this, and I'm gonna let everybody see this. And like with perms too, it's like, you know, the amount of damage that relaxers does to your hair is crazy. And you don't think that your hair deserves the love and attention that everybody else's hair has? I think sometimes with this whole natural hair movement, which I am so excited about, I think it's awesome. I get to see all of these beautiful hair textures, all these curls, and all this beautiful stuff. But anyway, sometimes I think it's hard to market natural hair to a specific type of girl. Now, this girl has grown up seeing glamorous and sexy Victoria's Secret models and Sports Illustrated and Barbie dolls and video vixens, everybody with straight hair. And girls who identify with being sexy, which is no problem to me, I think it's great, but who identify with that, they have a hard time embracing their natural hair, because we are not seen, people in our natural state, we are not seen as a vixen or a runway model or a love interest. We're not seen that way. But that's cool, because we are responsible for being sexy. And just because we don't see it on TV, just because maybe rappers don't put it in their video, it doesn't mean anything. You're only attributing sexiness to your hair because it was an image that was placed in front of you that had nothing to do with you. But you are responsible for what you consider sexy. Another thing that I don't hear talked about is a lot of times natural girls, like when they first become natural or even throughout their whole natural life, they are like desperate to find these products. Like they can't live without it. Like I go everywhere and people are always asking me about my hair care regimen. What products do I use? And I really don't use any. I just kind of use olive oil. But even doctors, like I was at the eye doctor and she was like asking me questions on her little clipboard, like, oh, has your seeing got better? Blah blah blah. Oh, what kind of hair products you use? And I was like, what? Is that on that clipboard? What kind of place is this? But yeah, she was like, oh, I just wanted to know. I love hair products and whatever. And I don't have a problem with hair products. There's no problem with wanting to pamper yourself and do different things. But it's the desperation that if you don't use it, your hair is going to shrivel up and die, or everybody's going to see how it is when you just get out the shower. Like, I don't feel like that's actually really free. Like, I know one girl, she actually takes her hand and she puts product on every single ringlet of her curls to make sure that every single one is perfect. And it's not necessarily that I have a problem with doing that, but if you're afraid to not do it, that's the problem. If you're afraid to look unkept, because it's the same, it's kind of the same energy like with girls with perm, like, I gotta clean this up, I don't want nobody to see. It's kind of like the same thing with natural girls. Sometimes they can't do nothing without like a twist out, or a pin up, or swirl out, or whatever they talking about. It's like, it's the freedom to not care. It's the freedom to look kind of jacked up now and then. I don't feel like there shouldn't be anything wrong with that. That's like truly free to me. Because I go to school with some white people or whatever, and a lot of times their hair looks disheveled a lot of times, but nobody's going to be like, oh my God, how'd she come out the house like that? What you doing? Like, it's not that big a deal. And this is not to say that you can't pamper yourself, you can't treat yourself, because I think that's just a natural feminine thing that we just want to do. And I think that we should keep doing that, but not like in a panic, in a frenzy. Oh, and on the talk show, this dude stood up and he was like, I think that girls who wear weave are really lazy, and they should learn to do their own hair. And he was about to get cussed out for real. And it was like, I feel like his delivery was bad, and maybe he's a dude, so he doesn't really know how much work it takes. But a part of me kind of agreed with it. If you just think about it, you have to learn how to do your own hair. It's a part of adult grooming. You have to groom yourself. You must learn your hair. You must love your hair. It is your hair. That's it. If you weren't exposed to straight hair, you would be doing your natural hair. The only reason that you want straight hair is because in comparison to everybody else. If we lived in a world where it was just black people, you would just keep your hair like it is, and you would do it, and you would be a boss. But that made me think about men in this hair care world. And I have a theory. I don't know if it's true because I'm not a man, but I do think there's a level of disappointment there. in their women. Even though it might be most dudes who say they prefer straight hair, but what if as women we didn't care about that? What if we didn't care about what society told us, what Victoria's Secret told us, what Vidal Sassoon told us? What if we didn't listen to it? What if we walked around the world flying our flag with so much pride? Like, this is our hair and we love it. And nobody else has this silhouette. Nobody. Imagine the pride I think that it will instill in our men. Because I think men get pride from their women's beauty. It's our flag to the world. What if we walked around like that? What if? So I just really want us to embrace our hair. Like, really. Because I think it is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. And I always thought that. And I want us to be able to feel free, to feel truly beautiful, to feel that our hair is fine. Like, truly, it's fine. You don't have to put 10 products in it. You don't have to put unicorn tears on it. But that's what people want. They ask me, like, all this special stuff that you should put on it. But you don't have to do all of that. Your hair is beautiful. It really is. You have to see, you have to know that.